Hey guys, so today we have another video. Why did I say that like that? Instagram, Twitter, follow me on there, it's a fun time, and subscribe because we're about 4k from 500k. But we do have a video for today with a few very interesting stories. Once again, I can't fit all of them in this video, so I'm gonna have to try and split this up somehow. But let's start with a little backtracking. Recently there was a company called DevaCurl who were accused of basically damaging people's scalps and hair. DevaCurl is obviously made, as the name suggests, for girls with curly hair, and it completely ruined the definition of their curls. The curls are drooped, they're frizzy. Essentially, it will take a lot now for the girls to get back to where their curls were before DevaCurl. And it's ironic because DevaCurl was supposed to help with the definition of the hair, but it did the absolute opposite of that. So that's the backstory of DevaCurl if you somehow were not aware of it. And recently, Brad Mondo, I spoke about this, tweeted out saying something along the lines of like, as a hairstylist, I don't think DevaCurl is the reason why your hair is the way it is. And people were a little bit outraged, so he deleted the tweet now. And recently he uploaded a video where he basically went over everything regarding this, and he said that he doesn't think that DevaCurl is the reason why their hair is the way it is, because a lot of them were using the products years before this happened. But it is a little bit strange that thousands of women were using the exact same product and basically happened to have the same results, which were not the greatest. So people also said in the comment section, there was a girl that said, why is no one correlating how DevaCurl was acquired by a new company in November of 2019 to these issues? At the end of the day, a business is all about numbers, and if they looked for ways to reduce costs in production by using a cheaper lab or cheaper ingredients, couldn't this result in hair issues? It would make sense for people who are using it for so long and only now are having issues. I was using DevaCurl for just under a year and I didn't notice a negative difference in my hair and scalp until the end of last year, just saying. This is actually a very interesting point. I think if this is basically a Morphe Jaclyn Hill situation, where if you're not aware, Jaclyn Hill and Morphe released a volume 2 of their volume 1 palette, and recently we found out that the volume 1 had its ingredients changed and carmine added in, which means it's no longer vegan, but they just didn't let anyone know. And they added in shea butter, coconut oil, and another oil. A lot of people react very badly to them. It kind of clogs pores and everything, so yeah, as long as it's on your eyes, I think you should be fine. But a lot of people do react poorly to coconut oil and so on and so forth. So we should have been made aware of this, just like DevaCurl should make you aware of any changes if there are any. So this is just an ongoing case now. There is a class action lawsuit happening, and the main person who was talking about this, Aisha, and she recently uploaded a video where she showed her scalp and her hair and how kind of what state her hair is in, and she said her scalp is just completely itchy, dry, red, inflamed, and she went to a dermatologist who said that this is probably a chemical burn. She says she doesn't get her hair bleached, dyed, she doesn't use heat on it, so the only thing that she could correlate with the scalp damage is DevaCurl. She's like, it's the only thing I've been using, so must be that. And her dermatologist isn't sure if they will ever be able to completely fix her scalp because it is a chemical burn. I can see both sides. He also has his own product, so he sees, as a hairstylist and a product owner, he can kind of see the backstage view of these products. But when you are a person who has put all your trust in a very expensive hair company and you start losing hair and your scalp is dry and itchy and irritated, I mean, you're gonna blame the one product that you've been using, right? It just makes sense. And a lot of them, because it is aimed at people with curly hair tend to be more careful with the products they use on their hair. So it would just seem like they wouldn't experiment too much. You know, if you find the one thing that works for you, you're going to stick with that. And DevaCurl worked for them for a long time, so you'd think they stick with it. But watching Aisha's most recent video about the chemical burn and stuff, it just breaks your heart that this is the one thing that she felt really confident about. Her hair was just like her thing, and now not only is her hair messed up, her scalp is also suffering. So this is obviously uncomfortable because your hair's ruined, but it's also uncomfortable just physically because she said she's constantly itching her head and it just makes it worse. So yeah, this is just an ongoing issue now, and I actually want to see where this goes. I want to see what DevaCurl says, because their first statement was basically just saying, we have no problems with the products are fine, the products are tested, so on and so forth. So they basically just denied all allegations and said, our products are fine, it's your fault, essentially. So a company called The Archives From has posted on Instagram saying, we have been officially ripped off by @Shein Official, and it is incredibly violating. If anyone wants to help us make this right and bombard these thieves until they remove our creative property, we would be honored if you did. Thank you to the fans who brought this to our attention. We greatly appreciate you. The Archives From basically created a jumper which says, I'm a person, hold on, I'm blind. So it says basically, I'm a person, not a label on the sleeves. And I'm pretty sure they said that all the proceeds would go to charity. So basically that was just stolen from Archives From, which is Cameron Boyce's brand that he created with another girl called Vanessa. And it is just really sad that after his passing, they obviously put out this jumper that's supposed to spread awareness. And it's just, it's kind of gross that Shein would then take that. Knowing the like history behind that brand and knowing the history behind that product, I think it's just kind of disgusting that they would do that. But then what do you expect from a fast fashion brand who, you know, probably pays the people that create those products like 10 cents a product? I don't know, it's just, how can you have prices so low and ship them out so quick if there isn't some kind of a evil way to do it, you know? So I think as a whole, you know, Shein, Boohoo, Misguided, Pretty Little Thing, all those brands, fast fashion brands, they're not good for the environment, they're not good for people. They pay the workers probably close to nothing if you consider the cost of creating products and the cost that they sell them for. And they all sell the same products as well. If you sometimes you look across different brands and they're selling the exact same stuff. So I just think, yeah, no, I'm not into any of those brands as a whole, and then for them to do this, disgusting. Megan Rinks is a lifestyle / beauty YouTuber who now has a podcast called Don't Blame Me that I've been listening to since it pretty much started, because I've been watching Megan's videos for a while, but then she obviously stopped uploading videos and she just does her podcast now. But she has recently been hacked on her main account and on her second channel. She has 2 channels. So she got hacked on her main channel, and I remember knowing that because she would upload her podcast and you would click on the podcast and you could watch it fine, but then if you clicked on her channel, it would say that this account like didn't exist. So on her end, it looked like everything was fine. On our end, we were like, your channel doesn't exist. Like, we can't click on it. So if you weren't subscribed to her channel, you wouldn't ever come across her videos. Her second channel was hacked and they took down all those videos and started uploading their own videos, and they basically rebranded her vlog channel, which was her second channel. So she gets in touch with YouTube and gets no results. So she uploads a video recently that is about 45 minutes long. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can watch it, because I think if anyone's going to explain this well, it's going to be her. And it's basically just back and forth emails which seem to not be with a human being. Like, you know when you can kind of tell when you're not being replied to by a human being? Like, yeah, technology has really made strides forward and it is really incredible what we've done with technology, but it does not sound like a human being most of the time. So she seems to be getting wrong emails to the point where they call her Alex at one point. Her name is Megan. Her managers and agents and anyone else that was CC'd in those emails, no one is called Alex. Literally no Alex in there. So the fact that they can't even get a name right when someone's channel is being hacked, incredible. So there are multiple emails where they basically say that there is nothing wrong with the channel, there is no suspicious activity, even though her whole vlog channel, every single video was taken down and it was rebranded with new videos on there. How is there no suspicious activity? How is it that on their own platform they can't see when something is clearly going wrong? So after emails back and forth of getting no responses for months and losing about 60,000 subs on one of her channels, she starts tweeting, and the moment she tweets, she gets a lot of likes and retweets, to the point where a lot of people with blue checks start replying to this. She said she posted the tweet at 9 a.m, no response, and then Shane Dawson quote retweets her tweet and says, YouTube, please help, and within 20 minutes she gets a response and she starts DMing with them. Is it a coincidence? I don't think so. They sent her a weird legal document form in email form. Like, it wasn't a letter attached into an email, it was just a form within an email that was allegedly a legal document, but she forwarded it through to a lawyer and he said this is not a legal form. There is no signature there. There is nothing that would mean like this is confirmed, approved, legal. So right now, if she signed that form, she would basically be agreeing that she will not get any of those privated videos back because they will be deleted. So she's going to lose her whole vlog channel anyway. That was the whole point, is she didn't want to start uploading on her vlog channel again. She just wants all those vlogs back. So she can't get all her private videos back, which all of them are privated, and she would promise to not sue them. So if she signs this form, that's it. That's all the response she gets. In general, there are still no updates. Yeah, she's not having a great time right now, and I think it just goes to show how even with 3.5 million subs, you are not as important as you thought you were. Not even in a bad way. I don't think Megan has an ego on her. That is not what I'm saying, but you would think 3.5 million subs is like a lot of people, and that they would take this seriously, and they just don't care. Unless you're their golden child, I don't think you're gonna. No. And there are a few people that would quote retweeting that, saying that they've been hacked for 2 years and nothing happened, and they're smaller channels. So yeah, let's just hope no one else gets hacked, because God. And she said at the forum that her channel is being sold on, there are a lot of celebrity and YouTube emails and passwords there. So please change your passwords. Do two-step authentication. Don't get hacked, please. So as I said recently, I spoke about the Morphe situation where they changed the ingredients, and that was the whole situation. Kind of adding on to that is because they changed the 2017 formula formula that was the volume 1 palette, and then in her launch video she said that the volume 2 palette is the beloved like old formula that you guys know and love, but it's not, because it got changed. So now the volume 2 palette is the new volume 1 formula, not the old volume 1 formula that everyone loved. So Morphe then released a statement that I went over last time, basically just saying that like they're trying to be more transparent from now on because clearly people are upset about this. Yes, they were. And Jaclyn Hill quote retweeted that saying, in regard to all the conversation around my collaboration with Morphe, I would like to clear the air on a personal level. I was aware that they were increasing the performance of the product, pigmentation and creaminess, but not made aware of ingredient changes. For those of you who don't know, you can change performance of a product without ingredient changes. I apologize to those of you who could not use the palette due to the fact that it's not vegan. Although I am not vegan, I do understand the frustration, and I am sorry to those of you. And then Jen Loves Reviews, who was the original person that basically figured this out. She had the 2017 palette, and one of her family members had the 2020 palette, and she said, I don't really like it. I don't see why you hyped it up so much. Jen took that palette, compared to the 2017 palette, it was different. So she then went and bought a new 2020 palette just in case there was a batch problem, and she didn't like it either. So there is a difference. The swatches look different. And Jen Loves Reviews replied to Jaclyn Hill's statement and said, "Hi Jaclyn, I want to compliment you on your original 27 formula. It truly was amazing and did not need improvements. Knowing how hard you worked on your original formula, I don't understand, one, when Morphe came to you saying they were improving it, why didn't you ask for more information regarding the changes made? This was your baby. This was your beloved formula. I can't imagine why you wouldn't ask questions. Two, when you said the volume 2 was the same loved formula, you knew that there would be something different as Morphe was making them better. Why did you say it was the same if you knew it was different in some way? I'm not trying to nail you to the wall here, I'm just trying to understand. Your fans are trying to understand. We all just want to know what we are buying before we buy it. We want to know what we are recommending to friends and family before we recommend it. That's all. When you say something is the same, when you know it isn't the same, it is hard for customers to keep faith." And that is basically all I wanted to say. I think Jen put everything perfectly in that statement. It's just, even if Jaclyn didn't know that they put Carmine in there, like, she lied regardless, because she said it was going to be the same formula and she knew it wasn't. She knew they were changing it to make it better. And also, if she cares so much, she says she's always so involved in the production process and she's there to try and make the formula the best that it can be. And you're telling me when they told you that they were going to change the formula, at no point did you think to ask, in what way? What do you mean you're going to change it? Do you think I could have a say in this? I haven't been buying Morphe. I think the only thing from Morphe I have is like 2 eyeshadow brushes and that James Charles palette. I've never had a single Jaclyn Hill product and I don't intend to. I don't intend to give her my money or Morphe my money because clearly they're both just liars, is what it is at this point. And I know that sounds really harsh, but that's all it is you just constantly lie to people. Jaclyn Hill then, instead of continuing to address her fans and their concerns, she then decided to basically do a diversion and reply to a tweet of someone basically making, you know how you can like tweet out that you posted a video on YouTube? Someone tweeted out saying that they posted a video about Jaclyn Hill's dad, who is apparently a cult leader in Africa who claims that he can like cure illnesses. So Jaclyn Hill quote retweets that and says, "This is absolutely disgusting. I refuse to watch this video, but just the title and the thumbnail is so awful. What is wrong with you that you think it's okay to even speak about my birth father when I haven't even spoken to him in 10 years? Mind your damn business. Too far. I understand that people don't like me. They think I'm a liar. We know you're a liar. And they feel as though they can't trust me. I can't change that, but seriously, it's gone too far. People have taken away all the fun on social media and have made it so ugly. I'm truly sick of seeing it every day." And then actually Jen replied to that saying, "People haven't taken the fun out of social media. People's reactions to your actions have. People want to love you. People want to trust you. Give them a reason to. Prove people wrong by showing you are a good person, not through words, but through actions." That. No one has sucked the fun out of social media. I feel like the people that always complain constantly, like you're allowed to complain here and there. Everyone does. But when you're constantly complaining about social media, maybe the problem isn't social media. Maybe the problem is you. Because I don't see people like Jen complaining in every single tweet that people are like mean to her. Because Jen is someone that people can clearly trust. Yes, she will probably post the random tweet of saying, "Oh, I hate getting random hate comments" or something, because every YouTuber does. I think every YouTuber gets hate comments. Every YouTuber gets called ugly or told to themselves. That is a fact. But if 99% of your tweets are regarding hate about you, then maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't them, it's you. And in this case, I will put my money on the fact that you're the problem, Jaclyn. You have lied with every single launch. There is not a single launch where it just went smoothly, perfectly, with nothing but the truth. And I'm kind of sick of it, honestly. Then someone said, "As bad and as wrong as this sounds, I feel like this isn't going to stop till they break you or at least run you off social media or the beauty community completely." And Jaclyn Hill said they're close to achieving that goal. And in a way, this is supposed to make us feel bad for talking about her, when none of us have invaded her privacy the way this channel did. So the fact that she addresses this one channel that is such an anomaly in everything else, but doesn't address the fact that she's lied about everything and all the valid criticism, blows my mind. And she does this every single time. It is just a method of diverting diverting people's like view from valid criticism to, oh my god, look, they're talking about my dad. It's like, I get you can be angry about this, but while you address this, also address everything else. And she never does. This is the only time that she's released like a proper statement in a timely manner. Usually she just disappears and then claims that she's too stressed out to address everything, when it's her brand and it's her products and it's her fans spending their hard-earned money on her products that have just not gone well. It's so sad, but it's just the way it is. At this point, I just want honesty and transparency, which we don't get from her. But as a whole, do I think they should be talking about her dad that she clearly hasn't been in touch with for 10 years? No, that is private business. That is something that she hasn't put out there. You know, usually if people like make their family part of their business, sure. But if she's never mentioned her father and she doesn't put him in her videos and doesn't mention him, that is off bounds. Don't do that. That's grim. And that just makes her address that instead of the valid criticism. It's like when people call her fat. It's like she's obviously going to address that and not the valid criticism, which just ruins it for everyone else. Next story is Thee Stallion, who is a rapper that has recently blown up, and she was signed to a label who basically made $7 million on her and paid her $15,000, and that was because it's the deal that she signed with them in her contract, which, yes, if you sign a contract, it's technically your fault. But how many of you click that I agree button every single time terms and conditions pop up on your iPhone without reading the damn terms and conditions? Like, Apple could really put in there, I will now own everything that you have in your phone. And if you're a YouTuber that, you know, films videos on the iPhone, that means all of your videos are now just belonging to Apple, and they could just copyright claim all your videos. But you wouldn't know that because we don't read the terms and conditions. And I feel like when most artists are up and coming, they don't have a team of lawyers, accountants and managers and agents to make sure that every word in every contract is like sorted through and understood. When you're young and excited to start your career, you just kind of agree to things because you hope that everyone means the best for you. It's how recently JoJo, the singer, not JoJo Siwa, has made a comeback, and she has posted an interview saying that she was basically, her career was almost ruined by the label that she signed to, because they signed a deal with her when she was 12, and then they started going bankrupt. But even though they were going bankrupt and couldn't produce her albums, send her on tours, do anything with her, she couldn't break that contract. So she had lawyers sift through all the words, and they couldn't find anything until one lawyer found some kind of an old statute and they were able to get her out of it. They settled and she got paid no money from that label because they were bankrupt, so they couldn't even pay her any money. So the settlement was basically just saying you can go free after we've basically ruined your career for 10 plus years. And she is now, just now, making a comeback after having 2 or 3 #1 songs at the age of literally 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it's a shame, but that is just how the music industry goes nowadays. Taylor Swift, she has no rights to her masters, and they were even apparently, well, according to her, not letting her perform her old songs because she's not with the label anymore. But they claim that they were letting her play the songs, and it is just a whole situation. She said she can't buy the masters from them. They're claiming she had a chance to buy the masters. There is just so much he said, she said in every single situation that it's just very difficult to keep up with it. It sucks when you are talented and you know you're talented and you're excited to get into the music industry and someone just you over completely, and it happens more than you guys would probably think. And I see a lot of people on Megan for basically just like not reading through contracts, but like I said, most people don't read their contracts, and you'd think, you know, oh, this is your whole career, you'd take that seriously. And I'm sure that like law isn't her area of expertise, and like I said, she probably didn't have a team of experienced people around her. So if law isn't the area of expertise for her, it's music, she's not going to be like, oh, let me just figure out what this contract says, because most people can't read legal language. Like, it's very difficult to understand on purpose. So she could have tried her damn best and still not understood what it said. So yeah, I feel so bad. She basically missed out on $7 million. Talking about legal problems, recently Danny Gonzalez posted a video where he said he would listen to this love show, the radio station that he listens to on the way to his gym, and he said it was the most staged thing he's ever seen. So he made a video on it, and he even tried to apply to be on the show, and he couldn't find a number anywhere. So if it's that difficult to apply for the show must be fake, right? Because they would make it very easy to apply. It's basically a show where one person calls, says they've been ghosted after a date. They then call the person who has been doing the ghosting and ask them why, and it's usually a crazy story about how someone in someone's bed, you know, and it has the same format every single episode. So he obviously tweets out that he posted this video, and someone tags the female host of that show, and she says she's going to be pursuing legal action. I think she's not aware of fair use, so someone did reply to that with a link to the government website that talks about fair use, and she said, no, I know better. And then Danny basically replied to that tweet that Angie posted saying, oh, that's cute, he's about to get slapped by legal for using our face, thanks for the heads up. And he said, might around and get slapped by legal. So yeah, clearly he's not taking this seriously because there is no basis for this. And I said there was no basis for this. So yeah, I can't wait to see what she has to say about this. Recently, Summer Walker posted on her Instagram story this, which is a video of people in China seen spreading the coronavirus to the public. And someone replied saying, it's a video from 2 years ago, please don't spread fake news. And she said, they trifling and nasty as too, so what's your point? Like I said, with the whole coronavirus outbreak, I've seen a huge amount of like racist people come out and think that they can now show their racism because somehow they think that people maybe like agree with them. Absolutely not. What we're not going to do is discriminate a group of people just because there is a certain virus going around. No, absolutely not. I even saw a video of, I was watching The Real, like, you know, when they post snippets of their show on YouTube, and they were talking about this, and obviously Jeannie Mai is Asian and she feels affected by this, and there was a woman in a mask in a train station, and she got assaulted by a man. I don't know if it was regarding coronavirus, but just in general, they're showing how people have been treated like just for being a different race. Unacceptable behavior, in my opinion. And like I said in other videos, the panic that's being spread right now is incredible. People also just don't know how to wash their hands, is what I've figured out. Even our Prime Minister, Boris Dam Johnson, had to make a public announcement telling people how to wash their hands. I just want to know if you guys wash your hands, you know? Like, what, once this virus gets defeated, are you guys just gonna stop washing your hands? Because when you go into like Tesco's, there is no bleach. Like toilet bleach. Are you telling me you didn't wash your toilets before this virus outbreak? There is no hand sanitizer. You're telling me you just didn't have hand sanitizer? You go out and touch random and you don't sanitize your hands? No, you don't do that. There are no antibacterial wipes. Blows my mind because I have them on me all the time. So I don't like eating at places and trusting that the table is good. And hand soap is gone. So you're telling me you guys were just not washing your hands? And that is not even mind-blowing because the amount of times you go into a public toilet and someone flushes the toilet, leaves and doesn't wash their hands is insane. Wash your damn hands. You know, do the whole thing. Sing happy birthday twice if you need to, but like you shouldn't have to sing a song to know how long to wash your hands for. It's grim. Wash your hands. God. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything, comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every other day or so, or just when something happens. So hit that bell and you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media in the links in description, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.